Good afternoon and welcome to Open Studios right here on DSTV channel 263. My name is Tiffany, aka the P Master, and I'm your host for today's show. Now today on the show we're going to be looking into the journeys people take actually, or the decisions they take along their careers where they decide to actually move away from the corporate world to actually follow something that they're much more passionate about. And today joining me on studio we have Tiffany Matthews. Trust me, I've worked with her. She's an absolute professional and she's going to be talking about her account, about moving from being working rather in the finance world to actually exploring her passion for makeup. Tiffany, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, it's amazing to also be having you on studio. I must say, it is great, man. You're always working on my face, and actually today I'm getting to actually sit down with you, and you're going to be speaking all things about yourself, your journey, as well as the decision that you made to actually move away from finance to the makeup world. Now, take us through that, your transition from the finance world to actually deciding that you now want to follow your passion as a makeup artist.
Okay. Well, I used to work, as you mentioned, in finance. I did finance administration for, wow, it could have been almost 15 years.
Oh, wow.
Different, mostly at NGO level and also within corporate. And I kind of ended up doing that work because, not because I'd studied it, but because I have a head for figures.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know, if you can add and you can subtract, then you can do accounting, you know. So that was basically my approach to it. And it was really a matter of having a family that needed to be taken care of. So I ended up just, you know, like, okay, you know, when you need to find work,
doing what you gotta do.
You know, you need to just do what you need to do because of responsibilities, you know. So that is, I was doing that, like I say, for about almost 15 years. And then I just one day got to a point where I was like, okay, so, especially when I got to like my 30s, and I'm like, okay, so what am I going to do with the rest of my life? Is this it? You know? And there's nothing wrong with, if that is what you love and if you're passionate about it, then there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, with actually.
But I realized that I wasn't happy in what I was doing.
Yeah.
I felt really like a trained monkey could do my job, you know, because it's very monotonous, it's very repetitive.
Yeah.
And I needed a challenge. And so I just decided, and I also wanted to work for myself.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, what can I do though? Because I didn't have any tertiary or anything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what can I do, you know? And I've always loved makeup. Started as a little girl playing with my mom's makeup and, you know, and then I would get compliments from people and ask me like, have you studied makeup? Because the way that I did my own makeup.
Yeah.
And I just thought, okay, I could maybe start doing like bridals and matric balls, that type of thing. And maybe also sell makeup as, you know, because you get a lot of these, you know, door-to-door type of sales where you don't have to go into a shop, but where people actually come and sell you the products. I thought I could maybe do that. And if I can do makeup, then I can show people how to use it. So that was where my mind was at when I decided. And I thought, okay, let me go do the course, which I did in 2014. And I fell in love with the film and television side of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I thought, this is actually what I want to do. Yeah.
Well, I must say it's very, very interesting. And as well, as you're saying that people always compliment you about your makeup, you actually did your own today. Shine. You look absolutely amazing as well.
Thank you.
Now, take us through your transition, you know, from finding your passion. As you mentioned that you've spent your 15 years into the corporate world, and there was a point where you asked yourself if this is what you really want to do. Now, the process of you discovering that, you know what, yes, I loved makeup, but now finally deciding that I can do makeup as a career full time.
Like I said, what pushed me was not wanting to work for a boss anymore, but wanting to be my own boss.
Yeah.
And I'd been through a process where, through my journey, I'd at one point joined a women's organization called Women Empowered, Committed Against Negativity. Yeah. So I started off doing finance there, ended up doing project management as well. Which involved doing workshops with women within communities. And it's all about women empowerment. Yeah. So the lessons that I learned there and the workshops that I was giving was trying to empower women to kind of find their own way, because as we know, unemployment and poverty is an issue. And then from there, the other societal ills come, such as alcohol abuse and you know. So how do you tackle all of those things? And it's very difficult to, but it starts with the mindset. So for us, the focus was the mindset, changing the mind. And for me, that's when as I learned that if you don't have, a lot of times we kind of have this goal or this dream of what we want in life, but we can't see how can we get there. So it starts with okay, so what do I have today? What can I do today to get me there? So that's kind of how it started. My mindset changed as to I don't actually have to work for someone. I can create for myself. And how do I go about doing this? So like I said, I thought, okay, let me try makeup out. It wasn't really even something that I thought I would go in full time. But when I did my, like a week in, about a month into my course, we did a fashion show at the Design in Durban in Cape Town. And David Tlale was one of the designers that we had to do makeup for. And it was like hectic behind the scenes, you know, doing makeup on the models, and everybody had to look the same. And it was, and I mean, I just started, so I really knew minimal. So it was very stressful and it was hectic. But when the models went up on the catwalk, and then we went to go and watch the show, and I saw the models up there, and I was like, oh my word, I was part of this. You know, the people watching this, they've got no idea what happened, you know, behind the scenes, you know, who threatened who and what, you know, like who almost died, and just that madness and that chaos, but that it was like an adrenaline rush. And I was on a
pure joy.
I was on a natural high. I remember leaving that show that day, and I was like, oh my word, this was so exciting. I can't believe I did this. And then it was like the realization hit me, because it was a Sunday. That Monday I have to go back to work. And I was like, oh my word, back to the office. It was like, I thought, no.
This is
just that high that I had, I thought, this is what I want. And that is how I knew then and there that this is what I was going to pursue, doing makeup. I didn't really know in what form, how it was going to happen, but I knew that the office wasn't for me anymore. So that is that push. And then I got to the point where I would hustle. I was using social media to advertise myself as a makeup artist, met people, did a lot of free work, did music videos, fashion shows, photo shoots, lots of different things, just to get out there. And I knew then I got to the point of, you know what, Tiffany, you need to now get to the point of, because I was working full time and doing that part time. So I would take leave from work, I would do weekend stuff. And then I realized, like, okay, it was like the end of 2015, where my boss could even see I wasn't focused at work anymore. And the boss was like, look here, you need to decide what you want to do.
And then you decided.
And I thought, okay, you know what? I can leave the makeup and scale it down and be stuck in a day-to-day job, or I can follow my passion. I decided no.
All right, man. When we come back, we're going to be going to an ad break right now. When you come back to it, we're going to be continue with the conversation with Tiffany. And of course, we're going to be busting few myths when it comes to, you know, doing makeup and any other career for that matter that parents actually also always discourage people to actually go through. So make sure that you stay with us right here on DSTV channel 263. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Open Studio right here, DSTV channel 263. Just in case you just joined us, we are joined by Tiffany Matthews today on the show, and we're speaking all things about her account where she transitioned from the world of finance to deciding that she wants to follow her passion and get into working as a makeup artist. Tiffany, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
All right, now before the break, we actually got into a little bit of foundation about your journey and your transition from the finance world to actually deciding to get into makeup. Now, I want us to get into speaking about makeup. I mean, you work with faces, and I believe there's a lot of myths that are surrounded when it comes to makeup, that people actually hide things with makeup. Like, what would you say is very important about makeup, and why do people actually specifically have to wear makeup, especially taking into account that you actually work on TV and you work with the likes of presenters like myself, you know? Like, what is that is so important about makeup?
Okay, so firstly, you know, I get it a lot because I also wear makeup. And I love to wear makeup. And you know, you get it a lot as a woman, you hear time and time again, like, you don't need to wear makeup. And I do believe a woman doesn't need to wear makeup. It's not about a need, and about covering up things. It really, for me as an artist, I see it as an art. I see it as whatever mood I'm in, how I feel, like am I very dramatic today, then my makeup is very dramatic, or I'm just feeling just mellow or whatever. So I use it as to express myself for me personally. And then when it comes to makeup within the industry, and it's not just about about beauty, and it's not just about, like, being a makeup artist is not just about making people look pretty. Especially if you're doing in the film and television industry, you have to sometimes make them look ugly. Yeah. Depending on what your character's about. Yeah. You know, you might have to do scars or bullet wounds or cuts or, you know, a chopped off leg, I mean, anything. So it really varies, and that's what I love about especially film and television, is that the special effects side, that it's not just as you, it's really part of your story. Yeah. You know, like a character, if you obviously you're given a script, so this is who your character is, and then you're given a costume, this is how your character dresses, and then the makeup comes along and completes the package. So if the makeup isn't there, it's not gonna make you any, like, make the show any worse or whatever. But you know, if you watch a movie that's really bad, like, you know, low quality, and it's got, you know, really fake looking makeup, it can be a little stuff, bit you know, you'll think, okay, no, that it doesn't look real, doesn't look good. So that's the thing about, that's how important makeup is to telling your story, to getting what you want to say across.
You're bringing it to life. It is so amazing what you guys could actually be able to do. Now, you mentioned something interesting that you, earlier on, that you work as a freelancer makeup. Like, take us through that, the different phases. Like, as a makeup artist, do you specifically specialize in, let me say, beauty makeup, or deciding that you want to work on retail? Take us through that, as well as your decision to actually go into freelance. What motivated it?
Yeah, so obviously as a freelancer, what it means is that you don't really work for anybody. You don't have a boss, so to speak, and that was what drew me to it, you know. Yeah. I don't know how long I'm going to keep it up, but but I mean, for now, I have to obviously push myself, you know. I have to always be looking for work, because it's not going to come to me. There's not someone who's saying, yeah, Tiffany, here's a job for you. So I have to go out and actively look, and that's what makes a freelancer. But within the industry, you can work in retail. There are shops where they have makeup artists. When you want to go buy makeup, they'll show you what to use and whatever. But I knew that I didn't want to do that, because I come from your 9 to 5 working for somebody else. And for me, it felt very much like I'm going to be stuck there. And because I fell so much in love with film and television, that's where I wanted to be. And I didn't want to be stuck in a retail or a salon. But those are all avenues that people can follow if they love makeup, or if they want to do makeup, then they can definitely do that.
Now, I must say the transition is not so easy, especially taking into account for someone out there who, like you, wants to follow into a career in makeup. We know what people actually have to say about it. Families tend to discourage people. I'm sure you've encountered that as well yourself, coming across people who say, no, but like makeup, how are you actually going to make it out there? And it takes so much courage. Like, how did you manage to get the courage to say, you know what, irrespective of who says what, irrespective of how difficult it could be for me to make it out there, I'm going to do it either way? And what would you say as well to someone out there who's actually want to do something, but they're failing to actually get into doing it because of what people are saying to them about that particular thing they're passionate about?
Yeah, I think that is definitely one of the hardest things. Society, family, it all has an impact on us. And for me, I also, what really pushed me, that was my motivation, was I had a moment where I said to myself, all I need is someone to believe in me, who's going to take a chance on me and say, okay, can you do this? I believe that you can. And then I realized that I actually have to be that someone who believes in myself. If I don't take the chance on myself that I can make a success of this, how can I expect anybody else to? So for me, if anybody, no matter what it is that they want to pursue, or what they're passionate about, you have to believe in yourself first before you can ask anybody else. And no matter what anybody says, you're going to get people who say, even along the way, you just hold on to that faith that, you know what, this is a talent that I have, this is a gift, this is something that I can do, and I know that I'm good at it. For me, I'm my own hardest critic when it comes to my makeup. I'm like, 90% of the time, never fully happy. There's a rare occasion where I'm like over the moon about the makeup I did. But I'm always like, afterwards, I'll think, I could have done this better, I could have done that better. The clients are happy, they don't have a problem. But for me, I always feel like you can still go better, you can still go better. And that is also part of my drive. I don't want to feel comfortable and like, you know, I am this person that's made it in life. No, I have not made it.
All right.
Don't get that misconception at all. I've not made it. I'm just doing me, and I'm about, you know, pushing myself.
All right, man. We're going to be going to an ad break right now. When you come back now, we're going to be finding out more about how you could actually be able to put yourself out there, and also finding out from Tiffany how she managed to actually get herself out there and get rolling with her career. Make sure that you stay tuned in right here, DSTV channel 263. Welcome back to the very last segment of Open Studios, to our today's show, where we're touching base on, where we're joined by Tiffany, rather, who's been sharing to us about her transition from the finance world to the makeup world, as well as speaking to you guys out there who rather are actually so much on the edge of actually wanting to make a decision to take a leap and also follow something that you're completely passionate about. Tiffany, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
All right, now I want us to get into speaking about the most exciting part of your career. You mentioned a moment earlier on that was kind of like eye-opening for you when you were doing a fashion show, and that is what made you want to now get fully into makeup. And now that you've been doing it all these years, take us through those most exciting parts or moments that you've had in it.
Okay. I think for me was a very small one, the first one. Okay, well, there was that fashion show. Then there was, I did a 48-hour film project where I actually then could see the importance of makeup when it comes to film.
Yeah.
Because we were doing a horror movie. I had to create scars, and I had to do like vampire bite stuff like that, and blood, and you know, it was just so much fun.
Yeah.
And then I just I think for me, that was where I fell in, and I knew I wanted to do makeup for film. So that was kind of stands out as a highlight.
Yeah.
And since then, I've been doing 48 hours every year. And I recently worked on a series for Mzansi Magic, Kuleko. I was doing makeup on that show. Season 1, and then I did now for another channel, another series as well, called Signal High. And then I met this other awesome production company called Daydream Films, and I've done quite a number of films also for Mzansi Magic. And the last film I did with them, I even did art as well as makeup, which was very exciting. So for me, that was probably one of the biggest highlights.
Wow, man. It seems like you've really been hands-on and doing like amazing things. Take us through how you actually put yourself out there. I mean, like, because the must, especially for yourself working as a freelancer, how do you actually manage to, you know, get yourself out there and get the ball rolling?
So when I started out, I started a Facebook page, and I'm like I know nothing about social media and stuff. I was like, asked a friend, how do you do this? How do you do that? Like, I feel very much like a bull in a china shop when it comes to social media. It's like, I just fall into all of those things, knocking stuff over, pressing buttons, because I don't know what I'm doing. I just go, and I thought, you know what, this is what I need to do though. So I need to get the ball rolling. So I did that, started my page. And then I joined all these different groups that you get, like film, Cape Town Crew and film and blah, 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 all of these different groups that I joined. And I remember I would see like a director posting saying he was shooting a music video, looking for actors. And I just like message him on Facebook, do you need a makeup artist? I'll come and assist. I'll work for free. That was me. I was like a designer's advertising his clothing. I'm like, do you want to do a photo shoot? I just like, and I wasn't the type of person who just speak to like total strangers. And maybe it's, I mean, obviously one has to be careful when you arrange to meet with people. But that is what I did. I just put myself out there on social media. Whenever I did work, I would take pictures of it and I post it out there. I post like a makeup artist available to do shoots, to do weddings, to do whatever. I did that on social media. A lot of work I started off doing a lot of free work, but I was working at the time, so it was kind of okay. I could manage to do free work because I had a permanent job. So, but that's what I did. So, because for me, I understood that you need to build your networks. Because this industry really is a lot about who you know. People are going to refer you if they know you. But if they don't know who I am, they don't know my work, they're not going to refer me. So a lot of my work I got through social media and through referrals. So it's through working with someone either here at CTV or on a job that I met through some type of social media, something, and yeah, that's basically.
Well, you highlighted something very, very interesting, and it is so important that people actually are aware, especially for the youth today, because most people are actually not willing to actually go out there and do something for free. They want to be paid for it, and people need to start understanding that we all have to start somewhere, right? For every single thing you do, it doesn't matter how good you might be, everyone have to start somewhere, and there was your start, and it managed to create 2 networks. Now let's speak about giving back to the community. You as well plowing back, because especially as an artist, I feel like most artists actually find themselves going out there and seeing the need to actually raise awareness because of how much people underrate the type of work that artists do. Take us through anything that you've done to give back to the community. I see as well that there are some students, artists that you've actually also taken through under your wings.
Yes.
Take us through that.
Yes, so as I mentioned, I do belong to an NGO as well, a women's organization, so that's part of how I give back. But it's more like, it's the thing about, for me, I feel like it's when you give back, you get back so much more in return, you know.
Yeah.
Another thing that I do is I do take on internships, like people who can't really afford to do the makeup courses, because it's very expensive.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And I've had people come with me. I'll take them on a job with me. We go to film set. They're there whole day. I show them. I teach them. Someone at the moment that I'm actually training as well. And my aim is to kind of really employ her as an assistant. So that is to really create work. And what I really would want to do is to be able to just motivate the youth in that, you know what, it's okay if you don't know what it is that you want to do. Like when you leave school, like my daughter's in matric this year. And obviously it's very stressful, what she's going to study and all of that. And I've said to her, like, it's okay if you don't know, because look at me, I was like, you know, mid to late 30s when I decided to do this. So it's fine, just do what you love.
All right.
Follow your passion.
All right, man. Thank you so much for taking your time to join us, Tiffany, and as well sharing your knowledge and your journey with us. I hope that it managed to actually inspire someone out there. Thank you so much. Everything of the best and nothing but the best going forward.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, man. And also, thank you guys for also tuning into the show. It was an absolutely informative one, and I'm hoping you guys actually also managed to pick some stuff for you guys. In order for you to actually also be a hold of Tiffany for her makeup work, I'm hoping the contact details are actually going to be reflecting on the screen right now. Thank you so much for joining us. And of course, if you'd like to find out more information about our show, do ensure that you visit our Facebook page. That is, of course, Cape Town TV. From myself, Pimelom Tlanga, aka the P Master, and the crew, stay blessed. Until next time, goodbye.